Michael. Yet despite his minuscule presence in the Bible, Archangel Michael has cultivated a massive devotion from not only those from the Christian faith, but also the Jewish and Islamic faiths as well, given that Archangel Michael appears across all three religious texts in some capacity. However, there are those that would believe that Archangel Michael's appearance in this manner is subject to interpretation. In this video, we'll be primarily focusing on Michael's presence in the Bible, as this is a Biblical Stories Explained series, but I will be touching on stories and legends originating from both Jewish and Islamic texts to give you an unbiased and hopefully more complete picture of who Archangel Michael really is, as well as what he means to people today. He is considered to be the biblical God's finest champion, a being so powerful that he is able to banish Lucifer from heaven by himself, without direct intervention from God. His name, which means he who is as God, is usually considered to be an angel of protection, and perhaps the most powerful of all of God's angels. It goes without saying that as the most powerful, Michael is the leader within the realm of angels, and serves as a warrior to defeat the forces of evil in all of their forms. But did you know that Archangel Michael is only mentioned a total of 6 times in the Bible? He is mentioned 3 times in the Old Testament, in the book of Daniel, where he is merely mentioned by another unknown entity, and later on again in the New Testament in his battle with Lucifer and the other fallen angels. He is also seen in the Epistle of Jude in a debate with Satan, and is again alluded to in the first epistle of the Thessalonians, though he is not explicitly named in this instance. In all of these accounts, though, the scripture Israel and hopes to confess all of the sins of his people, his voice like the sound of a multitude. While this man is never explicitly identified, it is understood serves to show Daniel that the entity which has approached him is on God's side when Daniel is having a vision. He states, "And I heard a man's voice from the Uli calling, 'Gabriel, tell this man the meaning of the vision.' In the next verse, Gabriel speaks and says, 'Son of man,' he said to me, 'understand that the vision concerns the time of the end.'" Furthermore, Gabriel actually appears before Daniel in chapter 9 verse 21, where Daniel explains, "Gabriel, the man I had seen in the earlier vision, came to me in swift flight about the time of the evening sacrifice." So if the entity speaking of Michael was actually Gabriel, then Daniel should have recognized him, instead of being overcome by the sheer awe of him, where he is noted as trembling on his hands and knees. Unless, of course, as some have suggested, Gabriel has only shown himself to Daniel in a lesser chapter called Daniel's Vision of a Man, seems to indicate that this is not Gabriel, and while obviously otherworldly, is merely a messenger bringing word of Michael. By the end of their encounter in 10:20 through 21, the entity further confirms his allegiance with Michael by saying, "Do you know why I have come to you? Soon I will return to fight against the Prince of Persia, and when I go, the Prince of Greece will come. But first I will tell you what is written in the Book of Truth. No one supports me against them, except Michael, your prince." By calling Michael Daniel's prince, his final mention in the entirety of the Old Testament, where the entity explains, "Michael, the great prince who protects your people, will arise. There will be a time of distress, such as has not happened from the beginning of nations,